It's a very valid question, and it wasn't.
Didn't even look at me.
Funny as well.
Yeah.
You missed late though.
Living forever, heaven or hell, finding out. Pattie Caldwell.
Noisy bunch tonight. Well, our next guests are American. I know you're all dying to meet them, but their organisation is attracting a growing following in this country. They believe, as we said, they're capable of living forever. They are offered and accept voluntary financial donations from believers. And this is how they sell the message to the faithful.
I'm here to make an impact. I'm here to stir people to want to be who they really are and haven't known it. I'm here to absolutely cause an excitement in mankind, humankind, that he never has a desire anymore to die, that he only has a desire to really be excited with one another and continue to live better than we ever have. I'm here to promote being around forever.
Crikey, that message worked. A very gullible lot here in this audience. Well, they're here tonight to face the critics, who think they are at best potty and at worst downright dangerous. They call themselves collectively the Eternal Flame, and love them or loathe them, here they are, ladies and gentlemen. So you like them, do you? You like the look of them? Are they as you imagined they'd look? Let's be serious for a minute, because obviously, I mean, this is just boggling. When I first heard about this, I laughed. And then I keep changing my mind a bit, because you're a charming bunch. But taking that bit, that was you evangelising. Tell us what the basic message is when you first realised you were immortal.
When I first realized I was immortal, it was a feeling for me of that I was, for the first time in my life, not a stranger in a strange land anymore. I was here to stay.
See, you're giggling, but just let's hear what they mean, because these people live their life according to this, and they have got quite a lot of followers now, and we're going to meet some from England. So let's hear what they have to say. So what happened? Did you have a moment of sort of realisation, or...?
Yes, I did. When I first heard that there was an individual in Los Angeles, California, expressing that humankind did not have to die, it was like, that was me. I was one of those that was not going to die. I felt it immediately.
And how long ago was that?
And that was about, let's see, 25 years ago.
And did you look like that 25 years ago?
No, I did not. I look much different now.
So you've aged?
I have become more mature, yes.
She's gotten better.
I'm getting better all the time. That's the one thing we find. The longer we're here, the better we get.
What I don't understand is, if you say you're immortal, I mean, you're only what? How old are you? 52?
53.
53. You're only 53 years in, and if you don't mind me saying so, you're aging. So what's it going to be like when you're 560? What's it going to look like?
I don't know. I have no idea.
We're constantly changing forms. I mean, that's the thing. That's the whole feeling of aliveness. When you're here is the quality. Being immortal and being a decrepit state of just being here without a quality of living has no meaning whatsoever. It really doesn't. And as far as aging, I mean, I've known, she said it was 25 years ago. Actually, it was 32 or 33, because it was certainly before I met her. And we've been together for almost, 30 years. So, and to me, the quality of her life is better than ever. It is with myself too.
So all three of you believe this, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah, she looks better than she did 10 years ago. you know, and I've known her for 20 years. And, you know, people can, and I know, to most people it sounds...
It's a giggle.
It sounds crazy.
Yeah.
It's a giggler. We understand that. You know, we're not naive to that. But, you know, I've said many times that, hey, you know, if it is crazy and if we're all wrong, at least open your hearts up and try to hear what we're saying, because if we're wrong, then you're gonna you know, you're gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
You know, let there be a chance for something new that can go on. Death
That's
is
a fair
always.
point.
All you have to lose is death, right?
Yeah, all you got to lose is
so
death
I mean, what the
anyway.
heck?
And
Before I bring in the critics, there's lots of people already. What? Yes, gentleman at the back there. Yeah.
Did all this pay for your suits? I mean, is that why you're doing it?
Money. Good question. Let's come to that in a minute. Let's get the facts out. Let's see what they're up to, because there's a lot of things to understand here. Right. Let's come first of all to our man of the cloth, Reverend David Smith. What do you think of this?
Well, Pattie, I've met some weird people in my time. But honestly, when I came here tonight, saw them come through the door, I thought, is this the Eurovision Song Contest of 1958? You know, yesterday I saw a video of these three people, and my first reaction, literally, was that I wanted to vomit. You know, it really was. Whether it's because I have an aversion to smooth talking Americans, I don't know.
Could be.
But
could be.
It could well be.
Could definitely be.
But on mature reflection, I don't know whether to laugh or to cry. On one level, I want to laugh because it's obviously a joke.
But I have to tell you, that's what I thought at first, and then I spent half an hour before the programme having a natter with them.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I started thinking...
Yeah, but there is... But
just a minute.
You're a clergyman, right?
Yeah, but
all right.
let me...
Then I want to ask you a question.
Well, let me...
In your own religion, there is the expression and the teaching that eventually human beings will return to their immortal state. That is in all religions on this planet.
Yes, but if you represent the immortal state, I don't want it.
Well, that's your problem.
Well, obviously they didn't want Jesus 2,000 years ago either, because he didn't come in the image he thought to be.
Yeah.
Why don't you...
Well, that's right. I was going to go on.
If English came to America, they're dressed a certain way. They're made fun of. Let's face it. Everybody around the world, because they're different, are made fun of. They're pigeonholed. They're made fun of for the way they are.
I am trying to get on from my.
We don't try to put on some air.
I am trying to get.
Don't worry, I'll give you a chance to speak.
I am trying to get.
I'm not real sure with it.
I will continue speaking if I die on this show.
Well, I'm sure when you express your vomit, you might.
I mean, I wouldn't normally be seen dead on this show, let alone in more. So, listen, I started to get right. My point was, first of all, I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
Until I began to realise the implications of what we are hearing. Now, Americans seem to have a fixation about their bodies. Now, I saw this programme yesterday, and there were all those people there. It was also gloriously wholesome and gloriously happy. Now, there are people at home watching this programme tonight who are perhaps suffering themselves. They know they're going to die. We all know we're going to die.
You know that.
And, yes, we all know we're going to die. And there is a false hope being offered here.
So you're offering false hope and you're preying on vulnerable people.
We're not promising people immortality. That is the individual. All we're saying is we're being who we are. We're expressing who and what we are. We're reminding people, we are reminding people that it is their true heritage according to all the cultures on this planet.
But this is so silly.
Can I ask you, what can people gain from declaring themselves?
Let me say this. It was thought to be silly too when the Wright brothers conceived the idea of flying.
Let him finish, and I'll come to you in a minute.
We're going to talk here.
Let him finish.
So everybody said, hey, they said if God meant people to fly, they would have given them wings. The whole religious structure, all the belief systems laughed at them.
Listen, please listen.
This is what goes on. It was thought to be absolutely silly for the idea for man to fly. But the Wright brothers went ahead, they visioned it. You might say they flew before they flew because they visioned it. We're saying we're physically immortal now because we visioned that to be a reality.
You visioned it, that's a very American word.
We see it, that's right, we experienced
it. Yes,
well, I can say,
just a minute, please can we not all talk at once?
But this is typical of the locking into belief systems. You know, there's only one way, and what we're really dealing with here.
What do you give people? Do you believe you give people?
What we give is ourselves. First of all, we're not promising anybody physically immortality. We're saying that, hey, it's time we begin to take a look and try to make this planet a safe place to live and mean business with it. And until we determine that we can want to make a difference.
Why can't we have
let me finish my statement. Let me finish my statement, then you can comment. As long as we always say death is inevitable, we're just going to be passing through this planet. We're never going to say, hey, this is our home. We're never going to want to really make a difference here. We're like passing through a hotel room and saying, hey, let the maid take care of it. It's time we make a decision to say, hey, we're going to be here all the way, and that's what we're saying.
So you said making a better world.
That's right, a better world here and now, given ourselves.
Good point. Gentlemen here, let's bring some people in here.
Even if this thing is technically feasible, if we can be immortal, you could ask the question, who actually wants it? Because I always understood that it's a curse. May you live forever.
Don't treat it that seriously. Don't treat it with that level of seriousness.
Let me bring in Steve Donnelly. Steve Donnelly, now you're basically a skeptic, a self-declared skeptic.
For sure.
What's your reaction to this? I mean,
I agree with David. I mean, the first reaction on
listen, folks, please.
On reading your book is that it's just silly. But I'd like to quantify that a bit. It's silly in a contrived way. Now, other people perhaps are going to have comments to make on the dangers of sects in general, of cults in general. And this is a cult, believe me.
You mean sects?
A sect with a CT? or maybe the other, and maybe we're going to talk about that as well.
Yeah,
but my main point would be that when I look at this, what it reads like is somebody who's gone along to a library and got out an encyclopedia of science, got out a couple of New Age books, got out a copy of the Bible, and put together what is just arrant nonsense. And every time they make a statement like, just as the universe has no beginning, who says the universe has no beginning? When they talk about Kirlian photography, they spell it wrong. When they talk about the Bible, they get it wrong.
This is what you're accusing them of.
This is a contrived, put together load of nonsense.
But they've got a lot of followers.
They've probably also got a lot of money, but I'd like to find out the motivations behind it. These people don't believe they're going to live forever. Come on, give me a break.
That is your body of knowledge. That's where you come from.
Where
did this
come from? Did you get 6 books out of the library and pull bits out?
Absolutely
Just
not.
about every statement you make has been scientific is wrong.
Believe it or not, there are people that are waking up in the world today that they're sick of the old traditional way of living, the way that life has been. They're ready for something new and something better than has ever been before. We're the best thing that's ever happened.
But get it right. But get it right when you're going to put it in a book.
That's happened.
We have doctors, we have scientists, we have That's all right. They're doing much research.
Absolutely insane. This program is about this audience. We want to know what they... Yes, sir.
As a doctor, I say they won't live forever.
Why not?
They won't live.
Simple as that. Could you give it to me a bit more scientific?
And age is already affecting them.
We have actually someone here who can give us a scientific response to this. He is Dr. John Hatch. Now, Dr. John Hatch, can I please? Dr. John Hatch is a lecturer in anatomy. Do you accept their basic thing that once they take on this regeneration, this cellular regeneration, that they can actually slow down the rate of their growth, their aging?
I think we all recognise that some cells in the body regenerate all the time. For example, the bowel is regenerated, the cells lining the bowel.
Well, we all know about that. Yeah.
Other cells don't regenerate.
Right.
The fact is, we recognise also in the anatomy rooms...
Listen, please.
In the anatomy rooms that many bodies look marvellous after 80 years. But we have to face the fact, in fact, that everybody's degenerating after the age of 21, so I don't believe this at all.
That's quite polite compared to what I thought you were going to say.
Well, I was going to say it was bunkum, but I didn't want to say that.
Right, OK, you won't say it's bunkum. Yes, sir. Yes. Now, here we have, I know you're Ian Howarth, and you're what the trendies would call a cult buster. Yeah?
Well, I'm a specialist in cultism, and the word followers was used earlier, and I think that's an important word because I don't know of a single follower with this group. I know of victims. I know of victims of psychological coercion. I know of victims of what is recognised in our field on both sides of the Atlantic of a destructive cult organisation. And
is that what you think they are?
Absolutely. I think it's important to recognise...
I would like to know names and facts and figures.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
What names do you want?
Yes.
You're just
throwing out. You're throwing out.
I have dealt.
You give names. Don't give your
Can
mental.
I speak, please? I have dealt with families on this side of the Atlantic that have been damaged by your
I have to say-
organisation.
Where are they?
We can name religion. There's people warring right now that are fighting. They're supposedly worshiping the same God and fighting over how to serve Him.
I'm just,
supposedly the same God.
I have a case to make. I'd like to make my case.
You get out there if you can't. If you're immortal, why aren't you out?
Everybody, one at a time. Let Mr. Hamilton finish. Ian, carry on.
Well,
I mean,
I'm
you're
not interested in-
accusing them of being a cult.
Absolutely.
They're denying that. Why do you think they are a cult? Because they are taking people and hurting them.
It's his job.
Absolutely, that. We
called
deal
here
with
to
the
do that.
families. There
How do you
are
answer
our
that?
colleagues in the United States that have dealt with the families that have been damaged by this organisation. It started off in Scottsdale and has been milking elderly people.
Do you recognise? Can I ask you?
know
Do you recognise the existence of cults? You know what he's talking
Yeah.
about.
Absolutely. I can't
Which
stand
ones don't
groups,
you like?
much less cults.
Which ones don't
I
you
think
like?
individualities. Pardon me?
Which ones don't you like that you think that
Well,
you can hear?
I
Jim
won't
Jones
name-
things.
yeah, the
that
whole Jim
promise
Jones.
life
Well, do you
after
not
death,
think
the
that?
whole-
Do you not
the
think
whole
that that's what you remind us of?
No. Well, only because there's been a lot of publicity about that.
Yeah.
So anybody who's going to be a little bit charismatic or a little bit, out there in the
So how
world,
are you
starting
different?
something new. In fact, the dictionary defines a cult as a new organization with a charismatic leader. So we're defined in that way. Every organization on this planet has started with somebody with a real who felt a potency of it or felt a strong feeling about starting it. That's how it had to start. Everything that's ever started on this planet. But the pigeonholing that goes on in this is not fair to us. But we realize that we're controversial in this sense. Like I said, that's why we're not out to convince people that we're physically immortal. We're just out to let them know there's another way.
You're not actually
There's
trying to
another
sell
way,
it.
and
You're
they're
not evangelizing. Now, I have to say, in fairness,
Pattie, let me just say this too
Yeah.
about the families, because they brought this up. We have more families involved with us, and we bring families together. We have families all over the world that we have
But what
complete
what
families.
he's offering?
We can't be
Let's
responsible
find out.
for
There are
people.
6 of them here.
They are offering a false hope.
But you're talking
I am offering reality.
Come on, nobody can hear you if you're all shouting.
I'm offering reality.
You're offering the
There are
life
6
after
people
death
here.
that
You
has
talk,
gone
you
on for
talk about
hundreds
problems
of
with
thousands.
families in your own book. You do talk about problems with families.
There are 6 people here who can tell you what it's offering them, because these 6 British people have come all the way up from London in the cold to tell us why they are now, what do you call yourselves? Together forever, part of Eternal Flame. And you're the British branch. Now, let me look. Paul and Gemma Massey. And will you listen, please? Because I want to hear. You look perfectly normal to me. You accept and believe everything that they're saying, that you can and are immortal, yeah?
Yeah. And since I've met Chuck, Bernie and Jim, the quality of my life has improved a millionfold. And I have to say that my relationship with my family, with my parents, has dramatically changed and improved.
How? How has that happened?
In the sense that I accept them more, I value them more, I have more sense of how each individual on this planet is unique and irreplaceable. And so I value my parents in a way that I never could before when I just saw them as my parents.
Are they immortal?
I would like them to be, they're choosing not to be, but I would very much like them to be.
Just a minute. And you, love. And you, Paul.
Well, I don't see myself as a follower of them. I've chosen to live my life to the full and to be with other people who want to live their life to the full forever. You see, that's a choice that I make here and now, and it isn't a promise of something in the future. I actually also feel a difference physically that I believe that I can live forever with that, but that's not actually what's important to me.
When you pop off in 30 years.
Yes, exactly. Actually, in a sense, I wouldn't care. In a sense, I wouldn't care because what I'm going for right now is a quality of living here and now that would make me even want to live forever. You see, it's all very well talking about selling something which isn't real, but at least we're not selling. You know, he can't prove that there's a life after death. So what's he talking about that they can sell? They're selling something they can't prove.
I can prove there's a death after life.
That's for sure.
I mean, you know, all right, listen.
You sell it.
You sell it. You stop the death because it keeps the institution.
You're welcome.
I once met somebody who thought they were Napoleon and they had a very fulfilled life. You know, it is a ridiculous...
But what are they doing to harm people by believing... They're saying it's fulfilled their lives, they're feeling better.
Because we are giving these people credibility on the television. We are giving these people credibility. And there is no doubt that if people don't read the small print, and I read some of that and I could not make head or tail of it, if people don't read the small print... They are going to have in their minds, here is a hope of living forever. Now, we would all we've all had moments when we would like to live forever.
But would we? This
Now,
gentleman said he
hold
wouldn't
on a minute,
like to.
hold on a minute. Now, there is an element of payment in this. I don't want to run to this level, but people are parting with their money to
Is this
keep up
true?
with this.
Do you pay
You
them?
can perfectly well...
You do pay them. Let me answer this.
Let me
Good
just,
point,
can I
love.
just finish? You can perfectly well live a life by yourself. But why on earth do you have to pay any money to this organisation?
Let's
I mean,
get yourself and live. Right. Okay. This gentleman here actually gives them money. Why, Mark?
I give them money because I want to support. I just love that they're out there. I love that they're able to be here, and this costs money to get them here. It costs money to get them around the planet. When I met them, my life changed, and I am just so grateful.
How did it change?
It made me realise that there was more than just dying. I've been a healer for 12 years, and I've worked with people with serious illnesses, and I've seen them recover. And I've always wondered, if they can recover, why do they die afterwards? And my feeling is you can take healing all the way, and they're the first people I've ever met who are doing that.
Right. But
And we're making a
how
difference.
does believing you're immortal, how does that make you live a better life? I mean, why do we have to have the immortal bit? Why can't you just lead a better life? Love each other, be happy. That's what I don't understand.
If I'm going to be around on this planet
Yeah.
forever, then I'm going to make very sure that I have a very good quality of living.
Are you two
And-
together?
Yes.
Yes.
And you get a bit
I
bored with him
have-
after 3,000 years.
No, my life with Mark gets better and better.
But
It
that's
really
actually a
does.
very good question,
The
you say.
feeling I had.
Let's
from-
look at the realities of
Let
this.
me
That, is a,
finish.
that was a flippant question, but it was a
When
very
I
good
met
one.
them, I'd like to just finish what I'm saying here.
3,000 years.
When I met Chuck, Benny and Jim, what I got from them was a real passion for living, a real passion and caring for each other that I have never experienced before. And I love it. You know, I have a better quality of living than I have ever had.
I was in a cult.
Yeah, they're tremendous showmen.
I used to say
Ian
all
was
those
in a cult.
things that the people here are saying until I was brought back to reality. And I feel for these people, and I hope that someday they can come back to the reality.
But look, if they look at them, they're pretty bright, happy bunch.
Absolutely.
You know, I agree. You were damaged. You were definitely damaged.
Can we please listen to it?
You've been brainwashing them. You've been brainwashing
We
them.
hope we're body washing them.
Now brainwashing, not body washing. We all do the body washing every day.
Serious.
Yeah.
You've been doing a brainwash.
Let him have a speak.
You've been doing a
I
brainwash.
feel sorry for his experience. I can tell he has had a bad experience.
Yeah.
and whatever. But you can't categorize every if you did that, if you categorize as a cult, you've got to categorize every organization in every religious organization, every foundation on the planet a cult because they all are supported by.
I saw you, Jim, and in that video. You're almost in a... Can you listen, please, folks? Would you like to leave the room if you'd like to talk amongst yourselves? You and me, when I saw you ranting, you were ranting. You were almost high, weren't you, Bernadine?
I'm very high on what I am, yes.
And with
Well,
people.
see, you can go to a football game.
It's an excitement. I've lived both life. I lived the life of death. Now I'm experiencing all that I am, and I'm very excited. And we are different, and we expect this. We expect this kind of an audience tonight.
Are you surprised by this reaction?
No. We're weird according to society that has always existed.
I'm going to change the direction of the conversation a little bit and ask a totally serious and scientific question. You claim that your lifestyle or your practices lead to a change at the cellular level. Cellular regeneration, I think, is the term you use, and that it's that leads to, I guess, ultimately leads to your immortality. Now, does that mean that physiologically you're saying that the cells of your body are in some way different from my cells? And if that's the case, can we have a look at them? Can we test them? It's easy to do.
Can you answer that?
Yes, he can answer.
Please let him answer. Please let's keep this steady because there's a lot to find out.
We feel that if within every culture at one time human beings were immortal, then there has to be the remaining of the memory molecule within the cell.
Memory molecule, hang on.
It must be there within the DNA.
Memory
You
molecule.
ask a question, you should listen to the answer.
It must be there in the DNA. And if it's there, and we have a number of gerontologists, some are quite prominent in the States, they are moving to absolutely break the encoding of the DNA because they know that the last vestige of that is locked into the intelligence of the DNA.
Sorry,
and
hang on.
once
The answer in short then is that your cells are different from those of mortals. Therefore, there's something in the DNA that would be different.
No, everybody has that opportunity.
You're saying it's within us all, then?
It's within every man.
Can anybody here join
Yes,
in?
That's right.
Yes.
Can I ask something about religion?
Yes.
I am here as a man of the cloth.
Yes.
Are you saying, in fact, that you are God yourself?
No.
Are you God?
No.
Well,
No.
could you
No.
explain
No.
to a
No.
simple priest what your relationship is to, say, Christ, or the Christian God, or the Muslim
like
God,
him
or
much,
any
do you?
God?
Oh, yes.
What is your do you completely discount everything that most normal people
not at all.
believe in?
Not at all.
Can you
Okay.
explain
Not
your
anything of Christ.
relationship?
Let him answer.
My,
Yes, I'd
my
like to.
own,
Nothing
my
of
own
Christ.
personal experience, my own awakening to physical immortality was through a cellular experience with Christ. And
Now,
to
what
my
does that-
shock,
just-
just a
can you tell
moment,
what
let
that
me
means?
finish.
Wait, can you just tell
No,
what that means?
I will
Question.
finish my question.
It
I will
doesn't
finish
mean-
what
can
you
you
asked
explain?
me.
Will you one at a time? Will you shut up? Let him
Cellular
answer.
experience.
What I
I don't understand what you're
experienced,
saying.
You don't want to
what
hear
I
the answer.
experienced in my discovery was that Jesus taught physical immortality 2,000 years ago. That's what got him
Where?
into trouble,
Where?
not all of the other
Where?
baloney
But
that's
you also
been
say that Christ
taught
was a
about.
hermaphrodite, is that right?
Pardon?
You also say Christ was a hermaphrodite.
I said that Christ responded. I said that I didn't say that Christ was a hermaphrodite. No way.
To me,
you are
androgyny
interpreting
has
that.
to do with
I said
Jesus.
androgyny.
In one sense, he was neither
his
male nor
passion-
female.
You better believe it. His passion goes out to both male and female. People. It's no respecter of persons.
You're not saying that you disapprove of Jesus' teaching?
Not at
We
all.
disapprove. If anything, we're not at war with any belief systems.
No.
But the way man has taken his life and twisted it and made a religion out of it has taken the passion out of his life.
If everybody...
And the same, let me just comment on this. It's like what was brought out about that we're promising physical immortality to people so that seducing them in that way. I'll tell you what. We're making a sound to the world of what we feel about living and ending death on this planet. But I think it's a lot better than the promise that's been given of an afterlife for thousands of years that's kept people on the hook. The promise that they were good enough, if they're sweet enough
Millions,
people,
billions of dollars
live without
have gone
sin,
into a life
and someday
after
have a
death.
little corner. Let me finish.
How do you
a
know you're immortal? That's
a
the
little
question.
cabin in glory land somewhere.
How do you
and never
know
really
that
live.
you're-
But you're saying
And the church,
this is
and
your
people
glory
pour their
land.
money into
This
the
is
churches.
you're saying that
May I
this
finish?
is your
should be
Let me finish my
paradise.
statement.
I've never heard such nonsense
Let me
in all
finish.
my
And people
life.
pour their
There should
money.
be heaven on earth. Heaven
wanna
should
finish.
be on earth.
Let me finish, Patty. And people pour their money.
Please, everyone, look, the viewers out there cannot hear a word.
No.
Can we please keep it one at a time?
I'll
And when,
finish this
when I
statement.
ask you to
Yes.
stop, will you?
I just want to finish. Yes, I will.
Finish the sentence,
I just
and
want
then
to
I
finish
will
that
move on,
sentence,
because we
okay?
have 3 minutes left.
But,
And I
so
want
a
the things to
promise,
talk
a
about.
promise that someday heaven will be off if you die, and people pour their money into all kinds of organizations, religious and non-religious, to have that little, make sure they can get their afterlife and never live now.
But
You know?
living now
and they
for
live in
you,
a promise.
living now for you
is what's
three.
important.
Now,
That's
can
right.
I ask you, for you three particularly, you're running this organisation, cult, whatever it may be. You get this money from people. You live extremely well, don't you? It's
We live-
lovely for
we
you,
live
isn't it?
comfortably.
You live
We
very
live good.
comfortably.
I
in a
look forward to
beautiful
living
home.
better all the time.
That's one of the worldly
Sure.
things that you've achieved through
Sure.
this.
Everyone
you also,
should.
I noticed in the video, one of the things you say is about you're so into your bodies, you're so relaxed, you're so in tune. What about sex? Isn't this just an excuse
Sex
for
is-
you all to...
Sex is wonderful. I think everything of our own bodies that we can experience. We're not out though. We don't have sex orgies. We're not into free love in that sense. We think there needs to be always to be a real feeling and consideration of every person that you're involved in. We don't abuse people on that level.
Do you believe in
we put
marriage?
that out to everybody. We believe in people coming together who really feel each other, not
So you
because
don't
not
believe
because
in
it's on a
marriage?
piece of paper, but because they feel each other. If it's on paper, coming together forever.
Just a minute, please. One at a time. There's three people here who've come a long way and not had a chance to speak. You're from the Cynic Society. Please listen. Skeptics, sorry, not
There are two
cynics.
things I want to say. One is that I have an enormous passion for life. I loathe the fact that someday I'm going to die, but I would rather face that reality than pay 10% of my income to somebody to spin me a pretty story. And the other thing I want to say is that not all Americans are like these three.
Can I read two letters here? Stuart Fellows from Walsall, not letters, phone calls. Wonders how many old age pensioners huddled around fires would like to live like that forever. And Sandra James from Chesterfield says, if we all lived forever, there'd be no room in the world.
Heaven's
Is that
overcrowded.
something that worries?
People have been dying there for years. We're going to heaven.
Say that again. So this gentleman here.
It's just middle-aged people like you. They want to look back on the life they've had and they want to live that all over again. But how many 90-year-olds do you have in your evangelistic movement?
We're running out of time.
Is it true that a lot of your income comes from bequests from people who have done it?
no.
What about that?
I have to leave it this way.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a great debate. There's a phone call in here, ladies and gentlemen. Can we have silence for 1 second? It's quite interesting. Steve Baker from
from Walsall totally believes in the Immortals. All right, he rang to ask if he could borrow £10,000 and pay you back over the next 10,000 years.
Yes!
The check. Could you put the check in the post? That's it. Thank you very much for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, give yourselves a round of applause for braving it through the snow tonight. Thank you for coming. Watch us next week. Good night. Take it away.